Hey everybody, welcome back to Northernlion Plays Banished. I feel like I've banished all the negative thoughts from my brain that I had with respect to how poorly I was doing at this game. Now our town is growing slowly but surely, which means probably soon we'll be due for some kind of blight. But for now, things are actually going pretty well, so let's try to, grow this bad boy out like it's a Billy Ray Cyrus 1991 era mullet, shall we? How are our houses looking? We could probably use another house. I know I just built several, but, several of these houses do have children living in them. Not many of them are close to reproductive age, but that changes quickly. So I'm actually going to pause for a second. We have 2 builders. That's going to be enough to get this house done. So let's put this down. Why want to go down right here? Oh, there's a road in the middle. That would explain it. Sir, let's try this out. Apparently, I've been building my houses, like 1 block away from the roads, and if that's true, then I apologize for it, but, I mean, from, like, a pseudo-OCD standpoint, oh, yeah, I see it now. From a pseudo-OCD standpoint, I totally get it, but hey, we all have to walk down our driveways to get onto the street, don't we? Well, not everybody, I guess, if you live in an apartment building or something like that. Firewood production is so glorious right now. I almost want to bulldoze this woodcutter, but I don't know if it's necessary, but we're producing so much more wood. This guy's doing 336, and this is like they're producing this much wood when we're at the limit, like when we're bumping up against the limit. So I'm pretty sure I could actually afford to bulldoze this one, or at least, like, I wish I could designate that this one doesn't get the worker, but I don't know why it always chooses a different one, if you know what I mean. I could just click and don't work here anymore. Okay, that actually works totally fine. So 1 citizen is now without a job. This is the guy who was previously working as a woodcutter there. I don't know what to tell him. He's just wandering into the forest. Oh, maybe because I have 3 woodcutters on and I should only have 2. Okay, that should solve that problem. So he should just become a laborer now. I understand. It's a little bit quirky, but I'm starting to get, what Banished is putting down. I'm starting to work with the game rather than against it, I think. And that's a very important moment. We're almost at 70 population. I'm a little wary to build another house, but I think we can support it. We have an 11-year-old female. We have a 9-year-old male, not quite. We have a kind of disproportionate number of females. Actually, you know what? We can definitely support another house. So I'm going to try to put this down in a reasonably okay location. That seems all right to me. We are probably going to want to build like another market soon. And I worry, don't get me wrong, I worry that maybe I'm focusing a little too hard on these houses, and that's causing, it's going to cause maybe some issues with respect to population growth. But right now, our food supply is so good. Between, the livestock that we're actually producing, the fact that our peppers are actually getting done. Our firewood production is great, so I feel pretty good about that whole arrangement here. How much pepper do we produce? Or how many peppers, I guess, technically? Produce 700 a year and a couple of logs. 700 peppers and only 2 logs. You must be, well, there's no quaint way to say it. You must be constipated. Now, I'm tempted to build, like, another field because we have a lot of laborers here. I'm just thinking about how we're going to do this. I'm tempted to build another field because we have a lot of laborers. I'm going to put 1 more person on the quarry. And 1 more person on the mine. How much iron are we getting a year? 40? It's nothing to sneeze at. But I want to have another market down before we do that. And I kind of want to make sure that, maybe the market... I don't like this location because it's hilly and it's going to be hard to build there. Let me just pause for a second. So this area actually seems like pretty good to me. If I could build like a market here, right next to the cemetery, you know what? Let's get started on at least like brainstorming how we're going to do this. So we're going to put like a market down here, but where's the food in this market going to come from? It has to come from gatherers, which would be over here, but is it faster for them to get to... It might be. Let's build a road and see how this works. This might be a terrible decision. Or it could be an amazing decision. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. Kind of want to destroy as few trees as possible. But this is going to be a long and winding road. It's also kind of hilly over here, but that's okay. As we approach winter, I'll see if I need to get another person working on the firewood front. But I think right now it seems pretty good. So 3 laborers is fine. We might want to have builders instead, but I don't think it's going to matter too much. No. You're not building the market yet. Sorry, I didn't mean to... start that. I should have clicked the pause button earlier. But I want to start building houses around here for our population, but we also need food sources around here. So another, we already have a pasture. What are we low on? Iron. That's fine. We have another laborer. I'm going to just put them in the mine. I know we have 8 people working on this mine, but, we need iron to keep these tools up. Firewood seems to be fine for now anyway. So maybe we want to put like another field down here. I don't think it would be the worst idea in the world. Let's see how our winter holds up, though. This road is, you know, I can't tell if it's done, but it's being done. Kind of still looks like an outline. And I think our people are going to be totally fine here. How much ale are you producing? Like, not nearly enough. We need more berries, though, in order to make that happen. We should probably get a more consistent kind of, like, ale fodder to get to 5 happiness, hopefully, or help us get to 5 happiness. Building an orchard is probably a really smart idea, especially now that we can afford to do it because our food production is so good. We don't need to worry about, like, having things right away. So, yeah, maybe I will get an orchard going. And we can probably just afford to have one person tend to the orchard. And you know what? Winter has been fine for us here. We've basically stayed consistent on firewood, which is surprising. And nobody's died. Our population continues to grow. We're up to 73 people. We're going to cross 100 sooner rather than later, I think. How much does this Hunter's Lodge cover? Enough to kill those deer, that's for sure. So you know what? Let's pause for a second. I've basically just been watching the game, which is not smart, but let's take this stone out of the way. We'll have our laborers do that, because there are 3 of them now. And then we'll start building some houses around. Can you store... You can totally store firewood in this stockpile. This stockpile might be terrible, by the way. I don't really know. But we can probably use some of this stockpile to build the tavern anyway. What are we low on? Iron and iron. It's unfortunate. I really wish that we generated iron faster than we do, but we don't. But hopefully we eventually reach like an equilibrium point. So I don't want to build this market just yet, because I still don't have any food production. Early spring has already started. It's looking pretty white right now. Just like the song, you know, I'm dreaming of a white Easter. And maybe also Independence Day, depending on where you're from. Let's start getting to work on kind of our infrastructure here. I want this stone to be cleared out as soon as possible so that I can actually build like a field maybe, you know, next to the stockpile. And then, like, I want to make sure my field's placed properly, because if it is, then they can just take the food to the market right away, which should be easy. If they walk it all the way back to this fucking market or this storage barn, I will actually be livid. Ooh, we've reached full production, or our production limit on tools, which should help our iron reserves. So hopefully we reach, like, kind of sufficiency there. Or sustainability, sorry, is what I meant. So we actually have way more chickens than we were supposed to in here, and a few more there, so they'll be slaughtered for food, but that's okay. This episode's going to be focusing on building, you know, the Lion's Den 2.0 over here. We have another laborer. That's fine for now. I'm going to prioritize some of this stone so I can actually get buildings up faster. Just please, no more tornadoes. If there is a benevolent force in this universe. I think we just had someone else die, but it probably was of old age. So we get this market up, we get the food up. And I'm going to start with crops, I think, even though I said we would start with not crops. But, well, I mean, I guess technically fruit is still a crop. But, I still think this is the right way to handle it. It's taken forever to clear this stone out. But now we've got a lot of it. We don't have a lot of iron. Could maybe afford to have one more person come into the iron mines here, just to make sure. Because I really want, as our population grows, it's not going to get easier to keep our tool supply high, you know? We have a merchant who has arrived. What would you like? You have peaches, pecans, and beans. I mean, I don't want to sell tools. I should probably start exporting something, because our trading post is just being worthless right now. But I'm just worried about us right now. So I'm sorry, Trader Joe. We'll have you come back later. Let's open our outlier again. Could have this dude start working on firewood again, but I don't think it's necessary. Okay, so food production. We're going to get another fields here. It's okay, Ruka. Don't worry about it. I know crops are bad, but we need something to put in this market so that people don't starve to death, even if it's kind of inefficient. I think that's still okay. So we're going to put down a field like this. It's too large if we do that. Okay, that seems good to me. And we'll make them... They're going to make peppers. I know we've already got people making peppers. That's okay. And we're going to have one person tend to this field, and hopefully that's enough. It won't be harvested this year. This will be a waste of our employee this year, but I'm okay with wasting one employee. And we just want to make sure that our road is kind of produced here as well. And as for right now, wow, the cat is actually really mad. I like to imagine that Ruka, that my cat, gets mad as commenters get mad. So I'm like, what's wrong, Ruka? What am I doing wrong? I guess we'll find out. You know, there's really no need to seed the ground right now. You can just kind of hang out for like another year, or another few seasons anyway. Well, Are you serious? Yeah, like, there's no need to worry about this. What are we low on? We're low on iron. I already knew that. Tools are relatively, like, self-sustaining right now. It seems like, at least. I'm interested to see how this works out. I think we're due for, like, another population boon, sort of. And now the real question is, do I want to build houses over here? And I think the answer is not until the market's done. So I think in the meantime, we can afford to put one more house down over here. And hopefully I can find a decent location for it. We're expanding out here pretty quickly, which is both good and bad. Reserve of iron is low. Okay. I mean, that's something we've been dealing with for a while. But I'm mostly, like, I'm not worried about our iron. Although it is going to cost a lot of iron to build the market. 40. That is kind of a lot. That's like a year's worth of iron production from our mine. Yeah. But I'm mostly worried about making sure we still have enough tools. So you know what I can actually do here to offset the balance a little bit? Is take our iron tool inventory down to 10 instead of 20. And I kind of want to take our hide coat inventory down. You know what? Why don't we keep it at 0 for now? There's no need to have a trader here for what I'm doing then. But still, I think this is an okay idea. Just keep him there so I don't forget about it later. We've had another laborer show up, so let's start putting people on, you know, more work. I think we should put a second farmer here just to ensure that we can, do we really? Oh, no! We need 2 farmers to be working on this field. Okay, good. I only had 1 for some reason. I had 2 assigned to work on this other field, which is really dumb. But that's the weird kind of micro that happens sometimes that I don't really appreciate. But hopefully we don't lose much of these peppers, or many of these peppers, to the winter chill. Come on, you can do it. Late autumn approaches. I kind of botched that a little bit, but that's, you know, par for the course, I guess. I don't want to get to work on the market just yet. Is our house done? Our house is done. And you know, you can tell basically just by looking at the age of the people that move in whether or not you need to ramp up your house production. And we might, because having a 15-year-old is all right, but having a 28-year-old, that's a little old for someone to be out on their own in the Banished universe anyway, so... we'll put another house over there. As long as there's the roads connecting it, I assume that they'll be able to get their food fast enough. It looks like we did manage to harvest all the peppers, so I feel good about that. And cemetery's doing fine. I don't know if that's a positive thing or a negative thing. And after winter, we'll see if our crops end up doing well there. After that, I don't know what we build. We might want to build a town hall and start inviting nomads, but I just want to make sure that we're doing all right for ourselves first before we open our doors to other people, you know? That's not my opinion when it comes to the immigration policy in the real world necessarily, because I have no opinion on that because I'm, you know, not a political scholar. I just wanted to nip that in the bud before it maybe became a problem. But in this game, my success is directly tied to the health and happiness of my villagers. So I want to make sure, you know, sometimes less villagers, it's easier to make them happy. Now we have a 15-year-old and a 20-year-old. That's a little bit younger, but we do have 21 children, which is a bit disconcerting, I guess. Because that's like half our population, roughly, and they're a third closer to, I guess. But they're going to grow into adults pretty quickly. I mean, we've had a lot of them grow into adults anyway. There's no reason to have 5 laborers. We might as well, if we still only have like 2 gatherers working here. Let me see. Yeah, we only have 2 gatherers working there. 2 of 3. And this is by far my best gatherer's hut. Why don't we have a 4th gatherer show up? Or sorry, a 3rd gatherer show up there. And, this gatherer's hut is bad, right? Like, it's not... you know, that's pretty good. But we could have, like, another hunter work. But actually, having more gatherers work actually makes more sense. This place does well, too. They could use a second gatherer. Having more gatherers makes sense because we can use the berries that we gather to produce more ale, which will improve the happiness of our citizens. See? I think I'm starting to, you know, think with a little bit of intelligence here for once. So it looks like our tool production is fine. I'm going to ramp up the production limit so that we're allowed to have more tools in storage before they stop producing. But first I want to save a little bit of iron so that I have enough in stock to build the market without completely losing the ability to produce tools. And again, that was another winter that was absolutely fine for us. So our population is a little bit above 80 now. It's going up quite quickly. Allow me to take a sip of my cold coffee here as I wait for winter to turn into spring and see how our crops turn out for us. I think this crop field is like basically the same size. It's kind of hard to tell though. We're gonna have 2 farmers working here making peppers. I would love to buy some seeds if we get the chance to, but we'll see if that's possible. There is a little bit of iron we can harvest over here in order to make our market. I'm actually gonna switch to 3 builders, and we'll unpause this as soon as spring. Actually, we might as well unpause it now. It's gonna take a while to build. So yeah, firewood production has been fine. We definitely do not need this third firewood producer working here. A trader has showed up. What do you have for me? If it had anything but food, I would buy it. If it had seeds, I would buy it. But again, I might be a total idiot, and you might be able to generate seeds from the food that you buy, or the plants that you buy as well. I mean, that would make sense. But I know for a fact that if you buy seeds, you can actually just use those seeds to make crops, which also makes sense. We're going to be a little bit short on iron, I think. So considering we have 4 laborers, let's prioritize collecting this iron over here, and I can't see if maybe there's a little bit more in this forest somewhere. So no, we'll just collect this iron over here, and we'll crank up the priority on that, because the quicker we get this market done, the quicker we can start, you know, Area 2.0 over here. It's a shame. It doesn't look like there's a great location for, like, a fisherman's dock. This would probably be a great location for a fisherman's dock. And we are actually getting a little bit lower on food than I'd like to admit. Why are we on 1% yield on this field? There should be 2 farmers working here. I only see 1. Hopefully it'll actually grow this year. I guess it's not that slow relative to what you normally expect. And again, we were getting so many population coming of age so quickly. I think we need another miner. For whatever reason, stone's been a much more prevalent resource, or a resource that doesn't get used as often, at least. Yeah, I think the crops are gonna blossom just fine. Now the real question is, if this market doesn't get done, where are they gonna put the freaking peppers? They're gonna walk the peppers all the way back to this storage barn, and all of these peppers are gonna dwindle and die. So we really need this market to be done, and then we need the game to also be smart enough. We need another builder, I think. And we need the game to be smart enough to say, hey, you put the peppers in this market. And we need to prioritize this, I think, as soon as possible. Otherwise, I don't think the AI is going to figure it out, unfortunately. I'm wary about it, at least. Let's put it that way. It still might be okay. Come on, they're not going to harvest it until early autumn or late summer, depending on how quickly it grows. And, you know, in the whole scheme of things, maybe 100 peppers isn't that big of a deal. But it's probably closer to, like, 600 peppers, though. Come on, just do this a little bit more sawing. I believe in you. 88% complete. They're going to harvest it pretty soon. And we'll see how the laborers react here. I actually don't know if this is going to be good or terrible. But I guess we'll find out soon enough. If we won't build houses around it if they're not bringing food to it. Let's put it that way. And we do have actually 6 laborers now, so I want to see what this looks like. We'll definitely have 1 person work on the market. Maybe we can have 2 people working on the market. You can have up to 12 people, so maybe that would actually be a good idea. But let's crank this market down to 1 of 1, and hopefully this doesn't cause me problems later. And then this one can stay at 2. We'll put it at 2 of 2 just because it makes it easier for us in the future. So we still have 4 more laborers. This is a very important moment, seeing where they actually deliver these crops to. They're not going to harvest them just yet, but they should be harvesting them soon. So just give it a second. Did they bring it to the market? They brought eggs to the market. That's good. Maybe the AI is doing a little bit better than I thought. And Eureka! Eureka! They brought firewood and logs to the market. And peppers. Okay. This is glorious. Now, I don't know still if I should be putting houses here, because it does kind of worry me that maybe these guys here still won't get enough food. And also, why are wheelbarrows coming from the other side of the map? They're bringing tools. It's the vendors that do that, though, right? I think it's the vendors that do that. So you know what? With 4 builders, let's do it. Let's put our first house over here in the Lion's Den 2.0. 2 houses to make sure, you know, the people have somebody to talk to over here. I'm very interested to see how this works out. You know what? As I watch our food supply, we are getting, I wouldn't necessarily say uncomfortable, but in a little bit of a trickier position. Typically, we've had anywhere from like 1,000 to 2,000 food stored up. We are dipping a little bit lower than I'd like to be dipping. There's already a dock up here. Would I really suffer if I put another dock down here? How many... What do you produce anyway for food? 600 fish a year. Let's compare that to like if we made another gatherer's hut somewhere. I don't know if all food is created equal, but certainly on paper it looks like the gatherer's huts are a much better investment, obviously. But I don't know where we would put them, because we already have a pretty good gatherer's hut here, and there's not maybe as much area over here. So this is a bit of a tricky ask, I think. You know what? I'm going to put down another dock. And we'll put maybe only 1 or 2 fishermen on it, but we have the population where we can actually kind of afford to make mistakes now, which is a nice feeling. There's a storage barn here. Oh, that's trading post. Does the storage barn actually get used? Reasonably. And we'll make sure that we connect it via a road as well. Maybe, if we're lucky, the road can actually go... no. Well, sure. We don't want to make the road like that. We want to make it like this, maybe. So it's not the most efficient placement, and people that work there are going to have to walk a long way. So be it, though. Okay, so houses are going up. Should probably block off or pause this dock for now, but whatever. We have enough builders that we can make it happen. We definitely don't need 6 laborers. Might be better for us. What's not working? Taylor's not working. Might be better for us to get another hunter then. We have a hunting cabin here with 2 people. How much food do you produce? Lots! All right, yeah, let's crank you up. We'll take you up to 3. I think that's a smart idea. And we have another... Might not be the worst thing in the world to have another forester working. This forest over here appears to be doing insanely well. So why don't we crank this up to 2 of 3 and then put another worker on that as well. And we still have 4 laborers, which is totally fine. This market is getting full. And this one is roughly at the same level. That's okay. You know what I'm worried about now, actually, that I think about it, is that with 2 vendors working at this market, they're going to get a disproportionate amount of resources, and this market's going to dwindle a little bit. That's really bad because this is where most of our population gets their food from. So I'm actually going to reverse the numbers here and make sure we only have 1 vendor working on our new market and 2 working on the old market so that they still have the priority because that's where the majority of the population is going to live. But apart from that, we're actually approaching 90 population here, which is really exciting. And we'll assign a couple of fishermen to work on this dock once it goes up. And then we might want to work on building a school or something like that. We actually can now, assuming we get some more iron probably, but that feels pretty good. It feels really good. We now have 7 laborers. Wow. Let's put another one. Does this... Oh, man, they do all right. Let's put another forester up there. It's okay, kitty. Don't worry about it. So we've just put another forester up. What else do we need? We're going to need 2 people to be fishermen. So let's... I don't want to wait until the fishing dock is done, though. I kind of want to just plant an orchard. Why don't we plant an orchard right over here next to the crop field? And that'll be a nice big orchard. Do we have anything that we can put there? Chestnuts. 4 people... Okay, orchards are just pulled from farmers. Got it. So we'll go up to 5 here. And you only need 1 worker for now in all likelihood. And we'll build some more houses around here, too. I'm taking up some valuable, market-adjacent real estate, but I think it's okay. We're going to be fine for food from what it looks like. This market is freaking me out, though, because not a lot of the food is actually going to this market. It's all going to this market instead. Lots of peppers, lots of mushrooms, eggs. Is the pasture technically, are both pastures closer to one market than the other? Because these people are going to have a really hard time eating 32 mushrooms and surviving on them. But we'll see. Hopefully by cranking the vendors back in the other direction, that'll help out a little bit. Because all the food from over here should go to this market at least. Is the fishing... Yes, the fisherman's dock is up. I actually want you to have 2. And I want you to still have 3. Can you really just not employ more than 4 fishermen? Oh, you can. You just have to do that. All right. That's fine. 87 population. Does that mean we had someone die? We might have. The cemetery now has 8 graves. Orchard trees have been planted. What do you got for me, trader? What's low? Iron. Yeah, surprise, surprise. It's been low forever. He has beef, steel tools. I imagine those are better than our standard iron tools. I don't think it's worth buying any of this stuff, though. So I'm not even going to dismiss him. I'm going to force him to waste his time. And I think we should have another woodcutter start working again. We'll take one of our laborers there, because we are losing more firewood than previous. What are we at here? Low iron, low iron. It's like a freaking anemia convention here. I don't know. Can I afford to have another laborer work in the mines? Why are we using so much iron? Because we're using so many tools. That makes a lot of sense. How does the mine make peppers? Can someone tell me that? Is that actually there's peppers growing in the mine? Don't eat those. That's really dangerous, I think. But whatever. Let's get the overlay back up here too. It's late winter. As soon as we enter the spring, I will probably cut the video right there, because I think again we've had another video where we made good progress. Now there's not a ton of food that's being delivered here. Again, it's one of those times where I wish I could, like, assign, like, this gatherer's hut, you put food in here, but whatever. We're actually very low on food, 275. Like I said earlier, we'd previously been able to get, like, as much as 2,000 in the bank, so... we'll see, I guess, in the next video if I have made a grave mistake here, either by letting my population explode, or by... both iron and food, or by building this market and causing some issues. But I think we're gonna be fine. But for now, when we switch over to not early spring, but spring, I'll stop the video. So we are probably, I feel like we're gonna hit 1,000, or not 1,000, that would be crazy. I feel like we're gonna hit 100 population in the next episode, which is pretty nice. Iron and food are both low. Food's not low, man. If people are starving to death, they just need to walk to the other market. Plenty, well, not plenty, but there's some food there. Plenty of food in this market in the center. And hopefully, again, when these crops get harvested, they actually go here again, which would be great. And these chickens can come here, and this orchard can start producing chestnuts that get distributed throughout the entire city. But in any case, I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, make sure to show your support by clicking the like button. It helps out a great deal. And, of course, subscribe if you want to see more Banished in the future. Town's going real well. I'll see you next time.